How Tinubu uses Akpabio's Efcc corruption files to weaponize Senate, pass controversial bills, and crush opposition. That's why I said earlier that there's a reason why he is appointing people that are corrupt, people that have done something bad, so that he can manipulate them into doing his bidding. That is exactly his strategy. I said it before. A severe political storm has broken out over the absolute independence of the 10th National Assembly amidst brewing public and public backlash regarding the real reasons behind the emergence of Godswill Akpabio as Senate President. Critics and opposition strategists have aggressively stepped out to claim that Akpabio's appointment to the nation's number 3 political seat was a deliberate, calculated play by the presidency to install an executive-controlled legislative arm. The prevailing narrative across major anti-corruption monitoring networks suggests that Akpabio was selected primarily because of the multi-billion-naira Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) corruption investigation hanging over his head from his tenure as Rivers and Akwa Ibom public administrator. This alleged legal vulnerability has reportedly been converted into a powerful political tool used by the executive to enforce total compliance on the Senate floor. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Political commentators argue that the traditional separation of powers has been completely hollowed out, transforming the red chambers into an extension of the Aso Rock execution wing. According to sources monitoring the internal dynamics of the ruling, all original and progressive factions, Akpabio is continuously reminded of his active corruption files whenever critical, controversial executive bills or loans are presented to the floor. Exactly. And is it that he's not thinking that one day this person will leave? This person cannot be president forever. So what happens when he stops being the president? That EFCC that you are running away from, won't you go back there? The day he stops doing Tinubu's bidding, they will immediately activate the EFCC machinery and send him to prison where he belongs. That prison that he's running from, he will soon go. An opposition party organizer noted during a capital briefing, this dynamic has created a high-stakes survival routine inside the National Assembly where the constitutional duties of checks and balances are discarded to shield the legislative leadership from criminal prosecution. The immediate casualty of this arrangement is the quality of national governance. In recent months, the Senate has rapidly cleared multi-trillion naira supplementary budgets containing controversial luxury spending items for the political elite, while millions of Nigerians battle double-digit inflation and a historic cost of living crisis. That's just it. There's no lie. That's exactly what they are doing. The other news I read that he appointed somebody that has been accused of sexual harassment. Yes, he knows what he's doing so that he will be using that sexual harassment against you. That's what he's doing. Sulaiman says one day Almighty God will crush them. Chukwudi says so. That's how it stands. No wonder at some point I feel that Tinubu placed him under oath. This current Senate has never rejected any bill from presidency, not knowing that the Senate president was caged. Why can't he free himself and go to your jail, instead of allowing one man to use? Because that jail you will soon go. He's not going to be president forever. Even if he does second tenure, he's not going to be there forever. That jail you will go. You will go. Chukwuma says this is the kind of the information our AFCC should be taken serious, not VDM. See better information that you can work with. Tabaka says it is not weaponized the Senate, but rather blackmailing the Senate. Exactly. Meaning it is either Akpabio told the line or else he will be relocated to Kuje residential area, because that one says no that he is guilty of what they are accusing him of. Because that's why they don't want a clean person. That's why they don't want you if you are not corrupt, if you have not done something bad. They want people that have done something bad so that they can leverage on that bad thing that they've done and use it to continue to get them to do their bidding. David said the script that is playing is exactly what the man on the throne is, how wicked he is. Without sympathy for Nigerians, whatever he decides to do is what he's doing. Akpabio is just an unfortunate tool in the hands of the corrupt masters. Corruption must burn its children. So let's continue to smile while suffering. It has become our trademark. Kabinde says it's not far from the truth. Yes, it's not far from the truth. That's exactly what he's doing. Emeka says, aptly captured, that is the reason the mess of bad leadership by this present federal government has become so horrible that the nation had become a failed state. You can't see a thief to catch a thief. You can't set a thief to catch a thief. So both are frolicking while they hemorrhage the country's economic dry and encourage insecurity to keep the citizens distracted and at bay. That's exactly what it is. Anthony says, we know that, and that is the reason we have, oh yes, Senate House. Yes, so the years have it. Francis said that's how his corruption case was forgotten till date. Jerome says, we all know that is why he brought into his cabinet absolute corrupt persons. Yes. Victor says, during the APC primaries, Akpabio openly told the audience that he's going to stand with his brother and move Nigeria forward, that everybody should support and nominate the president. As the APC presidential flag bearer, was the Efcc after him that time. I believe this one of the Senate in terms of executive and legislature relationship. They look. Corruption is or corruption plus corruption manipulation equals to hardship, hunger and suffering. At Lokoja says Nigerians allowed it. Love says in a plan no work. Judge Ojo says the Senate wants to be independent. How they should impeach Godzilla Akpabio. So if they impeach him, who is going to approve it? I don't know. He uses blackmail to manipulate Akpabio. Exactly. And that blackmail, very soon, he will soon go to that jail. He can't run away from it forever. It's not possible. We all know a complete man doesn't act with decency and integrity. And listen, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.